Out through the mouth. And whether you're sitting down or if you're laying down, we'll place one hand onto your low belly and one hand over your heart. You can decide which hand goes where. And just connecting your palms onto your body. Just noticing the motion of your breath into your one palm at your low belly, feeling the expansion and deflation of each breath. And feeling the air traveling into the lungs, and possibly the beat of your heart into your other palm. And just hearing and listening to the sound of your breath. Finding that connection of palms to your body. And your body against the surface that you're sitting or laying on. The temperature of the air against your skin. You can keep your hands where they are, or if it's more comfortable, you can move your hands onto your lap or to your sides. And just continuing to breathe. No expectations here for any specific exercise, just observing. Briefly observing the mind. And as you breathe naturally in and out, hopefully through the nose or mouth, I'll ask you here, just silently to yourself, what does the word yes feel like? When you think of the word yes, what are the immediate reactions in your body? Maybe physically, emotionally. What does a yes feel like? The next question, what does a no feel like? The word no. Notice your immediate reactions, how your body reacts to the word no. Now that you've compared your feelings between the yes and a no, you've observed what that gut instinct feels like, or also where we use our enteric nerve system, where we feel those butterflies in our stomach, or that gut instinct from our intuition. And just using that tool throughout your practice and throughout the rest of this week, so that when we do share with others or with ourselves, yes means yes and no means no. We'll take a couple more rounds of breath, just breathing comfortably and naturally. Take another round or two of your breath, and if you decided to lay down on your back, you can keep your eyes closed and slowly roll to one side and make your way up to seated. And once you're seated, if you're not already, we'll bring hands into prayer position in front of the heart. And we'll bow the head forward, chin to chest. And if you want to, go ahead and make an intention or a word of affirmation to dedicate to this class and or this week. Setting a nice, good, positive vibe for this day. And then we'll slowly open the eyes, looking down at the tips of your fingers. And we'll bring our hands to knees. And we'll bring the head to neutral. And then we'll let the, doesn't really matter which side. I'm going to start with my left ear to my left shoulder. We'll let it fall to the shoulder. Try to relax both shoulders, sitting tall. Then let's rotate your chin down to your chest. Still sitting tall, allowing the chin to fall closer and closer to the sternum. We'll stretch the back of the neck. And we'll rotate your other ear to your other shoulder. I'm going to rotate my right ear to right shoulder. Take a few breaths. Then we'll rotate your chin back to your chest. And then we'll roll your shoulders up and back a few times to bring the head back to center. I'm going to back up a little bit here so you can see me. We're going to do that again. We're going to let your ear fall to one of your shoulders. Oh, moving around is hard. There we go. So I'm going to do left ear to left shoulder. And then if you want, this time you can add a little bit if you want to reach your opposite arm out to the mat, maybe walking away an inch or two. And breathe. And if you want a little bit more, I have my left ear to left shoulder. You could take your left hand, bring it to your right temple, and gently add a little bit more resistance if you need it. And then release your hand from your temple if it's there. We'll bring both hands to knees, and then rotate your chin down to your chest. Keep your back tall. Let the head just fall naturally with gravity, closer and closer to your sternum, or the center of your chest. The back of the neck a stretch. And then we'll rotate it to the opposite side. If you want to add those little extra things, you can reach opposite arm or my left arm out to the mat. You can bring hand to temple if you want to. Just breathing into that side of the neck, imagine taking away some stress from the top of the shoulder and your, depending on what side you're on, the left side of the neck. And we'll release the head, bring hands to knees. One more time, rotate your chin to your chest. And then we'll roll the shoulders up and back, bring your head to neutral. Good. If you need to at all, you can shift the sit bone side to side, get nice and grounded again if you need to. And then we'll sweep the arms out and up to the sky. Grow nice and tall. And then exhale, we'll side bend to any side. You can soften both elbows if you'd like. You can look up to the ceiling or straight ahead or down to the floor. You can even rotate the head side to side. You want to just keep it moving. Nice big breaths into whichever side you are opening up. Maybe press the palm a little bit into the floor for a little bit more if you need it. And one more round inward and outward. And the next inward breath will come back to center, palms reach up overhead, nice long spine. A big breath in and then breath out other side. Nice simple side stretch. And with your breath expanding your rib cage on the opposite side. And one more round in and out. And then inward breath, come back up, reaching the palms up to the ceiling. And then exhale, we'll swing the arms down to your side. We'll inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, twist to either side. I'm going to twist to my right. Other hand reaches behind you. Every inhale, grow tall. Every exhale, twist from the center of your spine or the thoracic spine. 3 big breaths in your twist. We'll unwind, come back to center. Take a breath in to prepare. Then breath out, twist other side. And a comfortable twist, and 3 big breaths. And we'll unwind back forward. One more thing while we're seated, we'll extend one leg out. I'll extend my right leg out to the side. Sole of the left foot comes to the inner right thigh. First we'll side bend and then we'll twist forward. So first facing forward, spread the toes the best you can. We'll inhale, reach the arms up to lengthen. And then exhale, side bend, remembering to not go 100%. We'll take 3 or 4 rounds of your breath into that side. This time it's a little bit deeper than that first initial side bend. Finding just the right amount of resistance so that you can still breathe comfortably. And the next breath in, we'll come back through center. We'll twist just a little bit slightly to face the straight leg. Spread the toes, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold any amount. And folding might just be a couple inches, or you might fold a little bit deeper. And I like to give the option if you want to use your, since I have my right leg straightened, you can take your left hand, maybe bring it to the outer edge of the leg, or you can bring it to the pinky edge of your foot. We'll reach that today. And just a few more breaths here since we just got here a second ago. And one more breath. And then slowly walk your way up. We'll just counter twist this. We're going to turn your heart back forward. And then we'll just bring your right hand to your left knee and slowly just twist gently away from your straight leg. And try to keep the toes spread here once again. Just a little twist to counterpose that stretch. Awesome. We'll turn your heart back forward. We'll find a brief little butterfly, bringing the soles of the feet together. We'll just flutter the legs. And we'll take the other side. We'll straighten my left leg. Right foot comes to the inner thigh. Spread the left toes. We'll inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And we'll exhale, side bend, still keeping the heart facing forward. Breathe. Just one or two more. And slowly and holding, we'll come back up to center. And turn the heart towards towards my left leg. Spread the toes, lengthen as you inhale, and then fold, exhale any amount. If you want to bring your hands to the pinky edge of the foot or pinky edge side of the leg, that's optional if you want to add that. Adds a little bit more to the stretch. Nice big breaths. If it feels intense, then adjust so that you can still breathe comfortably. This is a really basic stretch, but I love this one. If your low back is feeling tight, this is a really good one. Just remembering to breathe into where you feel the sensation happening. Last breath. And slowly take your time, walk your way back up to tall. And we'll reach the hand over to your knee, up, bring left hand to right knee. Other hand reaches behind you, and we'll just gently twist, just a little one. And we'll turn the heart and head back forward. Just super briefly, both Soles of the feet come together for butterfly. Once again, we'll flutter the knees. And while we're in butterfly, we'll fold here. You can round the spine for this fold. You can let the head just be neutral, or you can let it fall towards your chest. Let's take 3 breaths here. If you want that little extra pressure, you might bring your arms to the inside of the knees or thighs and gently, super gently press them down towards the floor. Good. Then we'll roll all the way up back to tall. We'll bring the hands to the knees and guide them together. And then we'll come to all fours. My cat is ready for Shavasana. Are you in Shavasana? Well, we'll come to hands and knees. And then we're just going to make big circles with our hips. So we're just going to circle in one direction, maybe all the way back almost through child's pose, or you can adjust how big of a rotation here. These nice big circles. Then opposite direction. You're so cute. Good. Then we'll come back to neutral once it feels even on both sides in the hips. Then we're going to just take some cat-cows. And take your time. Maybe try to make these ones super slow. Cool. So from here, we're going to raise the right arm up to the sky. Next time your back is neutral. We'll inhale, reach the right arm up, and then we're going to thread the needle when you're ready. Slide it behind the left. Ear comes to floor or hand, or if you have a prop you like to use here. And whatever you want to do with that front arm, a lot of you know all the different options for that front arm if you want to take it or keep it in front for support, or you could even push the palm into the floor a little bit to help add to that stretch. And then breathe into your right shoulder blade. And one more breath. And plant your left hand in front of you if it's not already. And we'll press the floor away and sweep your right arm back up to the sky. And while we have this right arm up to the sky, we'll straighten the right leg back as well. Come to the inner edge of the right foot for a side plank and open it up. Either reach the arm straight up, or you might choose to let it fall towards the wall behind you. And open up that pectoral muscle. Awesome. We'll bring both hands back forward, both knees back to the mat. You can stretch it out with the cat-cow or two. And as you're ready, we'll extend your left arm up to the ceiling. Then we'll exhale, slide it through for thread the needle. And adjust to your favorite variation. And then breathe into the left shoulder blade. Just a couple. One more breath. And then we'll plant the right hand in front of you if it's not already. Next big breath, we'll push the floor away, sweep the left arm up to the sky, and we'll take our modified side plank on the other side. We'll extend the left leg into the inner edge of that left foot. And then open it up any amount, maybe straight up, or you can reach it back and twist the heart towards the ceiling any amount. Awesome. We'll plant both hands and knees back forward, and we'll prepare for downward dog. So maybe walking the hands forward. If you need to take any stretches here, any wrist stretches before you get there, or any other little stretches or another cat-cow. And then when you're ready, we'll come to downward dog. And just pedal it out. And try to relax the head. Letting the head fall heavy, you might turn the head yes and no. Rest at any time, as you know. Think about getting all of your weight evenly distributed between all 10 fingers. Trying to get some of that pressure off the palm or the wrists. And breathing. So on your next inhale, we'll roll forward. You can come to your full plank, or you can drop the knees down and find a modified plank here. And either way, whether you drop the knees for a modified or if you kept the knees lifted for a full plank, engage the core and the quads so the legs are still strong too. And 2 more breaths here, engaging the core. And if the knees aren't dropped already, go ahead and drop the knees, uncurl the toes. We'll shift forward if not already, arms in tight, we'll lower all the way down, chaturanga. I think you can still see me, cool. And then we're gonna find a baby back bend. We'll bring the palms alongside your shoulders. Point the elbows straight up and back, pointing them towards the ceiling the best you can. Press into the tops of the feet. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale, peel the heart any amount away from the mat, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then feel the breath into your belly, so that breath will help almost kind of rock you into this pose a little bit. We'll take 3 more breaths if you can. Rest if you need to. I'm not counting, so 1 more breath. And then we'll come down to rest. You can rest either cheek or stack the palms. And just rest the head for a breath or 2. We'll strengthen the upper back a little bit more. We're going to reach the arms out to the side into a goalpost or cactus arms, whatever you want to call it. And we'll take a breath to prepare, press into the tops of the feet. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale, peel the heart, hands and forearms away from the floor. And we'll take 3 breaths here, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Imagine you're balancing a pen in between the shoulder blades. Take 1 more. And then rest. While we're resting, we'll bend both knees and we'll sway your feet side to side. And then we're going to eventually come to child's pose. So take your time to transition to your child's pose. And any arm variation, if you want the arms straight or along your side or any other variation there. And what I'd like you to do on your child's pose, take 3 big breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth on your own. Just 3. And then take your time, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. You can keep walking or just let the gravity do the work here and just be still. Letting the head again fall heavy so the neck doesn't have to hold the head up. From your downward dog, if you're still in your down dog with us, we're going to start to tiptoe your feet forward towards the top of your mat. If you need to get up a little bit to get there, that's fine, whatever the hamstrings need today. And we'll find a forward fold, bend the knees a little bit or a lot. I'm going to adjust the camera here. There we go. And fold, maybe turn the head again, yes and no. Then we'll move a little bit here. On your inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold back forward, let the head relax. Knees might soften. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, fold. And inhale, lengthen, try to create a table out of your low back. And exhale to fold. Soften the knees a little bit more. Ground both feet firmly into the mat. And then on your next inhale, we'll rise. Circle the arms up and up. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center. I know my head's cut off, but that's okay. And then we're going to reach the hands behind the low back. Interlace your fingers your favorite way. And then we're going to bend the elbows and point the elbows back the best you can. You might just first bring your knuckles into your low back here. And that already might be quite a bit there. That might be enough. If you're feeling a little bit more open in the shoulders, you might decide to start straightening the elbows a little bit or maybe all the way. But without forcing anything, we're going to bend the knees a little bit here. Just maybe a nice little soft bend. I have my feet slightly separated, but you can keep your feet together or separate them or whatever is more comfortable. Keeping the knees bent, we'll inhale, open the heart. And then keeping, as your knees are bent, we'll slowly fold forward. You can keep your hands at your low back, or if you are straightening the elbows, you might let them fall away from you towards the floor. Everybody's going to be different here. And fold. Fold enough so that you can let the head fall forward. And soften the knees. You might even add more of a bend in your knees than normal. Or you might even bend the knees enough so that you can rest your belly onto the tops of the thighs. And breathe. If you need to rest from this pose at all, you always can. You can try different variations with the arms behind you. And just opening the heart. So as you breathe, imagining opening up the front of the chest and the heart, the shoulders. And one more breath. And if your knees aren't already, bend the knees. Engage your core, and then we'll inhale, come all the way up, opening up the heart once you get there. And then we'll release the hands, swing the arms up overhead to the sky. And then on your exhale, reach the hands back behind you one more time. This time, interlace the fingers the opposite way that you did last time. So the way that feels really weird and awkward. Bring your knuckles towards your low back. Point the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, prepare. Bend the knees. Inhale, open up the heart and the chest. And then exhale, fold. Arms can stay at the low back, or you might let them fall away from your back towards the floor. And breathe. You can always rest here if you need to. Or if it's too much, come back to that sensation of what a no and what a yes feels like. And if it is a no, see if you can adjust from any of those suggestions of bending the knees more, or just simply coming in a little less intense. Yeah, one more breath here. Then from here, we're going to stay folded. We're going to release the hands at the low back and let them trickle down to the floor in front of you. We'll lift halfway on your inhale. And then exhale, walk your way back to downward dog. Next time you breathe in, roll forward to plank, which could be knees lifted or knees down. And then exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Good. I don't know if you cut off now. Inhale, open up the heart, any back bend, I'll adjust my camera. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Walk it out. Adjust you guys so you can see me. There we go. From your downward dog, we're gonna step your right foot forward. So if you need to come down to knees to get there, you can, or if you wanna lift one leg and send it forward. And we're gonna prepare for warrior one. So once you step that right foot forward, that left heel will come down about 45 degrees or so, and then we'll inhale, rise to warrior one. I gotta adjust my camera angles. Here we go. So find your warrior one. You bring hands to your hips and kind of adjust because this back hip is rotated externally. So straighten the heart forward, swing the arms up. We'll check in with the front knee so you can still see the front toes. Awesome. Next breath in, we'll reach back behind you, interlace the fingers, point the elbows back, just like we did with that forward fold. You can keep the elbows bent, or you might straighten the elbows a little bit, or all the way. Inhale, open it up. And then exhale, we'll fold to the inside or on top of that right thigh. You might rest the belly or come to the inside. And then let the head fall heavy. Once you find the maximum amount of folding, head falls heavy. Left knee is engaged, so you're engaging this left quad. Then hands stay at the low back or they might fall towards the floor. Let's take 3 big breaths here in your humble warrior. This is a hard one, you're doing good. One more. And we'll inhale, release the hands, rise all the way up to warrior one. And then we'll turn the heart over to your left for warrior two. You can pivot that back heel if you need to. And looking forward towards that front hand. Nice and strong between both legs. Awesome. As I can see, you're looking great. Cool. And then we're going to reach forward with your right hand. Flip your right palm up to the sky, reverse. We'll reach it up and over. And then on your exhale, we'll take our side angle. Forearm comes to knee. Left arm reaches up or over alongside your ear. And we'll take 2 or 3 more here on your own. Inhaling to reverse, exhaling to your side angle. And next time you reverse, make that the last one. And then windmill the hands all the way forward to the front of your mat. Curl the back toes and step back into downward dog. And walk it out. And on your inhale, come forward to your plank, whether it's knees down or lifted. Engage the core. And the next breath will come down chaturanga. And then inhale, open up your heart, any back bend. And then we'll come back to your resting pose, which could be child's pose or downward dog, whatever's feeling more restful. And wherever you're at, take another breath or two to kind of rest and feel that warmth in the body that we just created from that right side that we just completed. And if you're not already there, make your way to downward dog. And when you're ready, we're going to step the left foot forward, however you want to get it there. You can drop the knees and help it to get there, or you can lift it up and send it forward. And then find your warrior one. I'm going to turn this way so you can still see me. Warrior one, so we'll pivot the back heel down a little bit. And we'll come all the way up. Maybe hands can start at the hips to help adjust. Check in so that you can still see your toes. Then we'll sweep the arms out and up to the sky if you haven't already. And we'll exhale, reach behind your low back, interlace the fingers the opposite way that feels awkward. And we'll point the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades together and prepare. Good. Elbows can stay bent or straight, whatever feels okay. Inhale, prepare, open it up. Then exhale, fold for humble warrior, other side. This one's not an easy one, so think about the support between both legs equally, letting the head fall heavy so the neck isn't being forced to hold up the head. And maybe trying to open up the shoulders in whichever way feels comfortable. And breathe, 3 big breaths now that we're here. Breathing through the discomfort. And one more breath. Went by really quick. And we'll release the hands and inhale, rise up to warrior one. And then exhale, open to warrior two. There we go. Check in. There we go. And we'll inhale, reach forward with your left arm, flip your left palm, reverse. Then exhale to come to side angle, forearm to knee, other arm reaches. And take about 3 on your own here, just going side to side. Nice little side body stretch. Just opening up the low back. And next time you reverse, reaching the left arm up, take a breath in, and then on your exhale, windmill the hands forward to the top of your mat. Curl the back toes under and step back into downward dog. And then I'll give you the option here if you would like to go straight into child's pose, or if you want to rinse it out a little bit, you can come forward through plank, take your chaturanga to your back bend, and meet in child's pose. So however you want to get to child's pose, 2 different pathways there. And once you get to child's pose, take a big breath in through your nose, big breath out through your mouth, take 3 of those. And 1 more breath in your child's pose. And we'll come up through tabletop, and then we're going to come to seated. Just adjust you down here a little bit one more time so you can see me. There we go. So once you come to seated, we're going to bend the knees and place the feet in front of you. There we go. And then we're going to place the hands behind you so that your fingertips, like your middle finger, points towards your back. And we'll just adjust here and maybe roll the shoulders back a little bit to help puff up the chest. And we'll place the feet on the ground. And then this right here might be where you want to stay. This might be just enough of that shoulder heart opener that you need. Or if you're feeling any pain in your elbows today or anything like that, or wrists, this might be where you stay, and this is great. If you want to take it to the second option, you can choose to lift your hips and kind of find a reverse tabletop. And this is a good place to be here as well. Let's find a reverse table. I'll give you a third option, just in case if you're feeling very fiery today. You could straighten the legs and lift the hips and find your reverse. I think it would be a reverse downward dog, I think is what they call it. And that one's a little bit more challenging. So find any of those 3 options. Let's take a couple breaths here. And even if you take that middle option and lift the hips, you can always come down at any time, or even kind of find some movement with it too. So you can kind of customize as we go. We'll take a few more breaths here. Either way, no matter which variation, think about puffing up the chest and the shoulders, opening up the airway into the front of the body. And 1 or 2 more breaths, whether you're moving or holding. And once you finish with that last breath or 2, we'll come to lay onto our backs. We'll keep the knees bent, and we're going to come to bridge pose next. So today we're kind of doing some upper back strengthening. That's what we did a little bit earlier. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm a little busy. Thank you. So a lot of times, especially if we're stressed or just in general, we hunch over. A little bit busy. We hunch over, so then our upper back becomes a little weak, and then our pectoral muscles in front of the chest become tight. So we're just opening up and strengthening here. So we'll come to our backs for bridge pose. Roll the shoulders back, puff up the chest. If you need any props here, if you have any, you can use this here. Totally your choice. Either way, when you're ready to lift the hips, keep the head neutral so that the eyes look up straight at the ceiling so that we're not turning the head side to side. Scoop the heels in nice and close. And when you're ready, we'll lift the hips for bridge pose. Maybe palms press onto the floor, or you can possibly interlace the fingers onto the floor beneath you. But just different options there. And breathe. Rest when you need to. Nice big breaths. Open it up the front. Try to release the glutes a little bit and keep the adductor muscles strong. So imagining that loaf of Wonder Bread between your knees. We're almost done. You can rest or take little breaths here. Good. One more round of breath. And then we'll lift the heels, coming up to the balls of the feet or tippy toes, and then rolling nice and slow all the way down until the tailbone comes down to the mat. And rest. I like to bring my feet wide to the outer edges of the mat. You can let the knees fall together, or you can just let the knees sway side to side, or both. When your back feels ready to, we'll find happy baby. And you can rock side to side. And then last, before we get ready for Shavasana, we'll just take a twist. We'll reach the arms out to the shape of the T, and then we'll let your knees fall to one side. Doesn't matter which side. And twist. Next, inhale, bring your twist back to center, bringing head and knees back to neutral. And then letting the knees fall to the opposite side and twist. Take some nice big breaths. The next breath or so, we'll unwind head and knees back to neutral. And we'll hug the knees into the chest. You can rock side to side again, or make circles with the knees. And just give the back a nice one more little massage. And then we'll start to get ready for Shavasana. So I'm going to scoot closer here. But we'll get ready for Shavasana here. If you'd like to change where you're at, if you need to go lay down onto some furniture, or if you want to lay down on your mat, if you have your mat here today. Maybe take a sip of water if you need it. Really nice and comfy. We'll take a nice little Shavasana here together. So setting up for that however you need to. You need some props, like a pillow or a blanket. Once you're comfortable, just taking little movements to get extra comfortable. And I'll guide you through this. I'll mind the time as well. And if you haven't already, we'll close the eyes. First, we'll start at our feet this time, relaxing feet, toes. If the legs are straight, maybe letting the feet fall to either side naturally with gravity. Relaxing both legs onto whatever surface you're on. Relaxing both hip joints, letting them fall open naturally. Breathing into your low belly, creating that balloon-like motion, inhaling and exhaling. Feeling the rising and falling into your solar plexus. And the movement of your breath into your lungs and rib cage. Releasing any tightness or anxiety from your heart area, your chest and throat. And softening your shoulders, both of your arms, hands and fingers, letting them fall to either side. Unlocking your jaw. Releasing any tightness from your facial muscles around your mouth, cheeks, eyes, and forehead, and that little space between your eyebrows, or your third eye, ajna. And also the crown of your head, your crown chakra, sahasrara. And just feeling the natural waves of your breathing. Breathing out anything that's going on in your mind or body that doesn't serve you. Reminding ourselves that thoughts are only just thoughts, they're not reality. Breathing all of that out with each exhale, emptying out some space in your body. If you want to visualize a section of your body where you're emptying those unwanted thoughts or feelings out. And then with each inhale, breathing in contentment. Or we also, in yoga philosophy, or in the 8 limbs of yoga, we call that santosha. Santosha meaning contentment, or the everyday practice of daily contentment and gratitude. This contentment is a practice, not to be forced. So it's one of those yoga practices that takes work and dedication every day. Even when things in our own personal life or in the world is in a state that feels untrustworthy. And some days are harder than others. Santosha is about feeling and finding the appreciation and gratitude for everyday life rather than clinging to the destination. It's a way of life of living free from judgment about our own progress in our own personal lives and learning to cherish each moment. The biggest obstacle of practicing santosha or contentment is trusting. Especially these days, it's hard to trust anything. But to find this contentment, we must have faith and trust in ourselves, in our choices, and the universe. It's about making mindful choices that allow us to experience comfort and happiness. Understanding that regardless of circumstances, we do have everything we need in the present moment. And all that's left to do is to breathe on your own and observing all nine the time, Shavasana. Next time you inhale, take a big full inhale in through the nose. And exhale out through the lips. Deepening the breath once again. And I invite you to wiggle fingers and toes. Adding some more movements into the limbs of the body. Maybe also the head or the neck, or a full body stretch. Slowly rolling over to your favorite side to lay onto. Keeping the eyes relaxed or closed. And keeping that theme of santosha or contentment. As usual, we'll focus on one or a couple things that you're grateful for on this specific day. And when you're ready, we'll press the surface away from you, coming up to a comfortable seat, whether you're sitting on the ground or if you're sitting onto a chair or furniture. You can, in that case, place your feet onto the ground. And sitting tall, breathing in and out through the nose, we'll bring our hands into prayer position in front of the heart. And we'll bow the head forward. And as always, I ask you here silently to yourself, how does it feel to be you right now in this very moment? Thank you so much for joining our Zoom class. It means a lot to me. Namaste.